you can go.
Hello.
And yeah, okay, you can go.
Oxfam, in partnership with Plan International Malawi, implemented a community resilience to hydro-meteorological hazards project targeting 40 schools. And the main purpose of the project was to address the fundamental challenge of low capacity of institutions and communities in disaster preparedness and response. We focused on 3 key research areas: enhancing disaster preparedness capacity of schools, teachers, learners, as well as community, and reduced education disruptions due to onset of disasters. And lastly, strengthening multi-sectoral approach to responding to natural or man-made disasters, as well as addressing the immediate life-saving needs of the affected. And the key research area 1 and 2 focused on disaster preparedness in schools by building capacity of the teachers, learners, and community in DRR concepts, helping them to map on hazards affecting them, as well as coming up with contingency plans to better anticipate, plan, and respond to disasters. We also facilitated catch-up trainings for teachers and ensured that they used that knowledge to recover lost time due to COVID as well as cyclones. We also managed to preposition learning and teaching materials, and we distributed them to the zones in the respective schools for early response when disasters occurred. And we managed also to renovate classroom blocks to standards that would avert future disasters, but at the same time increasing safe learning spaces. And under crisis modifier, we managed to participate in rapid needs assessments jointly with other partners in the district. And this ensured value for money, efficiency, as well as integrated response. And we managed to distribute multi-purpose cash transfers to the affected households. This was done to help them meet their immediate needs. And through that, we learned that the multi-purpose cash transfers were empowering because communities were able to decide on how best to spend the money to meet their most pressing needs. And at the same time, we also found out that engagement with the government revealed some capacity gaps in mainstreaming education in emergencies. And it was also clear that involving government in managing disasters in schools would help to ensure that there is continuity of learning. We also managed to identify a number of challenges during the course of implementation, especially on the cash transfers. These were a one-off intervention, which meant that the cash transfers were meant to just meet the basic immediate needs with a significant gap to recovery as well as resilience building. And the multi-purpose cash transfers were only a one-off, and yet we experienced multiple disasters such that the benefits of the cash transfers were undermined when the communities were hit by a second cyclone, Gombe. And another challenge that we saw was that rapid needs assessment were hampered by access to some of the affected areas because the roads were cut off and people could not readily do the assessments in good time. Therefore, early action also was delayed in some of the targeted areas. And one of the clear evidence that we have gathered is that schools continue to be used as evacuation centers. And based on those challenges, we came up with recommendations that it would be important for organizations, humanitarian organizations, to work together to prioritize construction of permanent evacuation centers outside of school premises to ensure that there's reduced disruptions to education. But at the same time, that humanitarian actors also can work towards lobbying government to mainstream education in emergencies to ensure that learners access education even amidst disasters. And also to ensure that there is adequate shelter management trainings for people who have camped, at least those who are managing the shelter where people are camping should have adequate knowledge on how to handle the people at the camp. And lastly also, that the organizations, the humanitarian organizations can also raise awareness well in advance on preparedness before disasters occur, so that people are aware of how they can evacuate to safe spaces. Thank you.